I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We will start off with the public hearing. There will be alley closure. What happened? Okay, so be resolution 2026-5, resolution to vacate following public alleyway. Alley from lot 66 and 67, the original plot of Brownstown, but it would be an address 210 West Walnut Street. Okay. And you had public notice, everything good on that? Okay. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of the alley closure? Is there anyone here speaking in regards against the alley closure? Okay. Hearing no other comments, I will take a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
I'm motioning to.
There be a second.
We have to approve that thing.
Oh,
We have to approve it first and adjourn.
do the public hearing or do I do that? I open it up to the full.
I think, this is an open hearing, so I think we can technically do it after the public. Okay. This is still public.
Okay. Will there be a second? A second. Okay, thank you. All right, the public hearing is now closed. Do we have any other, or any other questions or concerns regarding resolution 2026-5? This one on the fire station, correct?
Correct. And it's only half the alley that's behind their two, in between their two lots.
Okay.
People can still do this. I turned it a few years
I'm
ago,
saying-
but
Right.
it is,
All right.
the official paperwork didn't get finals, so we need to.
So that they're doing it again for the OCD.
If you're gonna tell me about.
I have no problem with it.
Okay.
I thought technically that we were on the group.
Okay, last time too.
Like years ago.
Yeah.
Because both are the same thing.
Okay.
The resolution of unenforcement.
Okay. All right, will there be a motion for the resolution?
Motion to approve the resolution.
Make the motion, is there a second?
Second.
And make it a second. All those in favor of approving resolution 2026-5, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say sign. Aye. Resolution is passed. Okay, likewise, we have ordinance 2026-6. It's the ordinance to vacate that public alley.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-6.
Okay, Tim makes the motion, is there a second?
I second.
Thank you for a second. All those in favor of approving ordinance 2026-6, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. So that passed.
I talked to them on the phone today and told them I'd file that paperwork.
Thank you, sir. Okay. And next, please, we'll go ahead and move on with the department head meeting. We will start off with the approval of claims. There's a period. From the payroll voucher for the period ending, June 12th.
Motion to approve payroll voucher dated June 12th.
Second.
Thank you, motion, thank you, second. All those in favor of approving the payroll vouchers as presented, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. So that passes. Move on with the accounts payable for the period ending June 15th. Any questions, concerns? If not, entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the accounts payable dated June 15th.
Chris makes the motion,
Second.
Ed makes the second. All those in favor of approving the payroll voucher, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. So that passes. We'll move on with our department head reports, starting off with the
Minutes.
I'm going to fold that over. After we still wait. Approval of minutes for the meeting from June 1st.
I motion to approve the minutes from the June 1st.
First place for the motion,
Second.
Ed makes the second. All those in favor of approving minutes, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. So that passes. Now we move on with our department head reports. Start off with Tom.
For the month of May, had a total of 184 cases. There were 0 citations issued, 4 warnings issued, had 10 arrests, responded to 3 injury accidents, responded to 16 property damage accidents, had 68 traffic stops, night shift put out 0 security checks, and there were 6 cases filed with the prosecutor's office for review.
Thanks for that update.
How's that feel being your last time giving a report?
Yeah, it's different.
All right, so yeah, is there any questions on anything Tom went over? If not, I got a lot of things to cover, and I'll make it as quick as possible. So last few weeks, obviously Tom was gonna be, retiring on July 7th, so last few weeks, we've been looking at reorganization, I've got a couple ideas. I actually had to miss the last meeting, during the last meeting, you guys went ahead and promoted Joe to take Tom's position as chief of police. So thank you for that. That was one of the suggestions from the organization that we had. The last time I was at the meeting, we actually talked about having a sergeant position, like a sergeant / SRO, that would be like second in command. Also continue to be an SRO and oversee the school system. There was some concern, and rightfully so, that may put too much, that position may be called away too much from the school, and they would not be able to dedicate as much time to the school system as we need. So we kind of went back to the drawing board and modified the structure. So the organizational structure that we actually looked at, instead of having a chief and assistant chief, we're now going to look at a chief, and we're going to have 2 sergeants. One will be a sergeant / detective. As you all know, we've all started detective recently. We went to another position outside of this area, or outside of Brownstown area. That person will be second in command. And then I still want to continue with the sergeant / SRO, which would be third in command, which I feel puts enough space in between the chief and the sergeant / detective to where that SRO will be able to dedicate as much time as needed to the school system. The sergeant / detective will also oversee all the patrol officers. and the sergeant slash SRO will be in charge of the SRO officers. With that being said, I don't know if there's any official motion needed to go with that new structure. Joe and I set up interviews this past week. Joe sent an email to all the officers here at the Brownstown Police Department and asked for anyone that was interested in applying for either one of those sergeant positions. So we conducted interviews last week. We had 5 interested officers. So it's a very difficult decision. We were blessed to have 5 good candidates that we sat down here and talked to them about those positions. Part of that also, we still have an open position for a full-time officer. We're looking to hire, we're having a hard time filling that position. So the old structure, if we were fully staffed, we would actually have 9 full-time positions and 2 part-time, if you count the detective as part-time. We no longer have the detective position. So the new organization I'm looking at would be 8 full-time and 1 part-time officer. Some breaking news is this morning, our part-time officer has decided to take a position outside of the police environment, line of duty, effective July 2nd. So we will also now be looking for a part-time officer plus a full-time officer. So along those lines, if we're going to redo and go from 9 plus 2 down to 8 plus 1, 8 full-time plus 1 part-time, I have looked at a new pay matrix for the system. This compensates for the new sergeant positions as well as the other positions in the organization, as well as frees up some money for we can have the budget with a reduction in the police force. If you look on the left, the table on the left is the 2024 pay matrix that we come out with. My proposed is the 2026, effective July 1st of this year, 2026. You can see the overall salary on the left-hand side is $565,000 on the base salary with combined with all officers. The table on the right is $540,000. So there's a $25,000 savings there, just by the reduction of officers, but also applying some of the salaries to other officers and the promotions that I'm proposing. This is the same table that I shared with you guys a couple weeks ago. Nothing changed. I hope you've had a chance to look over them.
In the old matrix, 11-year assistant chief, I think that's a typo.
Last one.
10 years, sorry.
Oh yeah, that should be a 6.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem.
Other than that typo, that should be 65 to 63, not 35 to 63. I don't know if you want a motion, but if you would, I'd like to make a motion that we've transitioned from the current structure with the chief, assistant chief, 9 plus 2, 9 full-time plus 2 part-time, to the proposed organizational structure of a chief, 2 sergeants that serve dual purposes, and fill the empty patrol officer and the part-time officer that we have open now. And then also, I'd like to make a motion that we look at from the 2024 pay matrix to the 26-7-1 pay matrix.
And thank you for the motion. There be a second.
I see, yeah.
Would you like to do a second? So, all those in favor of moving to the 8 full-time plus 1 part-time organizational structure, as well as the updated DPD salary matrix, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Those passed.
Next item up that I have, I told you we interviewed for sergeant positions. last week. Hope y'all don't mind, I'm gonna read off my script here. I don't like reading off script, but let me stay on track. I need to. So this evening, I had the honor of announcing 2 promotions within our department to the rank of sergeant. It was a competitive process, and as I mentioned, we had 5 highly qualified internal candidates step forward to be interviewed. They all demonstrated professionalism, leadership potential, and a commitment to serving our community. So this selection was not an easy process. Joe and I talked during the interview process, at length after the interview process, and again today. So I want to personally thank all the candidates that come in and spent your time and your effort to spend with us, and that effort reflects your strength of our organization, and I'm proud to work alongside each of you. So after careful consideration, interviews and evaluation, we have selected 2 individuals who we believe are prepared to take on these responsibilities. So please join me in congratulating Natalie Bowling and Adam Beamlander on their promotion to sergeant. Natalie will assume the role of sergeant/detective, and Adam will assume the role of sergeant/SRO effective July 1st. These individuals demonstrate strong leadership, sound judgment, and a commitment to our department's values. I'm confident that both serve our officers and our community in their new roles. And again, I want to emphasize this decision does not diminish the contributions or future potential of the other candidates. Our department is stronger because of each of them. I look forward to seeing their continued growth. Before I close, I would like to take a moment to recognize someone who has had a lasting impact on this department and community. And as many of you know, our police chief is attending his final department head meeting this evening. So Tom, on behalf of the department and community, I want to thank you for your years of leadership, guidance, and service. Your dedication has helped shape this organization and the people within it, and your influence will carry forward in the work we continue to do every day. We wish you all the best in your quote-unquote retirement. Good health, happiness, and time to enjoy the next chapter of your life. You certainly earned it. So again, congratulations to our new sergeants, and thank you, Tom.
Quick clerical note, so, we will need an ordinance, that can chart all that, and we just post it effective today, so the next meeting, prepared, it's actually already prepared, but, wasn't totally clear what was gonna happen today, honestly, so now that's clear, let's execute the ordinance and it'll make it legally effective. I reviewed past ordinances, the last time we did, I can't make this change, one, and there was an ordinance passed, so I just want to maintain consistency.
Do you need so you got an ordinance to review already?
Yeah, I can get that set up to you guys.
Okay.
Review.
All right.
You can sign that one.
Okay. Thank you.
I can call out some time if you want to give a speech.
Is everybody back there, or yeah, it's Joe?
Yeah, I do. My name is Dwayne. I live at 916 South Main here in Brownstown. And, my son, we share a rocky, van where he works.
If you don't mind, we'll go, we're not done yet. We got you down here on the other agenda.
We've got you on.
Dwayne Silver, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you're on the agenda, and we'll,
Thank you, Mr.
you can have the floor. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. We'll turn it over to you, Scott, with the wastewater.
Monthly report for May, removal of CDOG was 98.668%. Removal of total suspended solids was 99.029%. Removal of ammonia was 98.36%. Removal of phosphorus was 78.506%. Our daily average flow is 627,000 gallons a day. For the month, we treated 22,506,704 gallons, and we had no PDF enforcement violation. And one thing I didn't put on there and I forgot, month of May, we had 11.51 inches of rain. That's what we had for our monthly total. That's what flows over there. Belt press 92,972 gallons. Had them clogged the drum screen. We're still getting our monthly reports from the C-store. Cleaned our manhole there, 431. Johnny and I been working in the right of ways, doing some cleaning and some clearing. Kind of getting those cleaned up, squared up. Backed out below the road lift station. Been doing some jetting around town. On the Schneck Medical Campus, we're working with them on the lateral. Currently got an issue with how they want to cross our force main to connect to our gravity system. And we're also waiting on their NDOT driveway approval, so we can make sure there's adequate coverage over our force main that they would put their new driveway. That's kind of where we're at with on that one. On the elementary school subdivision project, the sewer main extension, got with Zach. It was late today. Well, it was the day when I got to it. I sent you guys, it's a sample copy of the sanitary sewer contract that would be between the town and the school. Zach has reviewed it. We need to get that, see about getting that signed, so I can get it back to the school so they can sign it. School's got a statement of financial responsibility to sign and return. Once both of those we have back, then I can sign their item capacity letter, that they're needing to get their item construction permit, keep the project moving. So, NDOT, working with Westler, HWC. Things are going real smooth, short version. We're trying to work through, there's one storm sewer that's gonna cross there to JC store, but I think it's gonna cause us some issues for everything we're saying. So we're trying to work through with them what options are available, because gravity sewer, I just can't redo one section. I just affected everything else upstream, possibly downstream. I gotta redo a lot more, so we're kind of working through that on there. I've got equipment maintenance completed. Still working on getting, its PLC part inventory kind of built up. One of the handouts I think I gave you, it's ERA unknowns. Where we don't know the result or anything. That was for the E. coli. We passed those, we're fine there. Oxidation ditch, we had some fuses and a fuse holder we had to replace. We rebuilt the polymer pump. I'll come back to those people. Surplus equipment, utility truck. We got the crane truck. It's time to get rid of the utility truck. Issues that happened last year, and then we didn't have exact procedure. So I submitted the paperwork to Sonia so we can think about having that declared surplus inventory and move it on down. On the land app unit, still working with Jenner. My thoughts on this is now's the off season, so farmers aren't looking for that piece of equipment. If it does not move, okay, to get the most money, we're thinking Jenner kind of brokers a deal with somebody that's wanting to get it connected to us and them together, and we can move, get that piece of equipment moving. If not, then like the next option is for a percentage, Jenner will put it on, because they have all the maintenance records on that piece of equipment, we'll put it on auction sites and get rid of it. The third, typically we'll get the lease amount for it, is we put it on there. I'm thinking this fall, if we can't get a deal brokered, we need to probably get with Jenner and see about getting that piece of equipment out, because it's of no use to us anymore. And we've been doing plant maintenance and kind of getting caught up on it and some repairs that I was a little bit behind on. Some pumps and painting and stuff like that, Johnny and I've been working on. That's all I'm doing.
Right back. Circling back around, we've got you letter here to recommend that the Ford Trust be the surplus material.
Correct.
Will there be a motion to that effect?
Motion to approve the 2004 Ford F-250 utility truck, as surplus.
And then the motion is there a second? There's a motion to a second. All those in favor of the motion for surplus vehicle, say aye. Opposed, same sign. So that passes.
Since that is surplus now, if you guys want to quick place and add in, the Tribune and the, take, it's good. And then open up that. That's easy.
All right.
We want to vote for that in
Do what?
placing an ad. You want me to do that?
What's the, would you be,
You guys have a lot of flexibility within the policy, but I drafted you, I think it made a lot of sense. Publish it, just to see.
well, I'd say if you publish it on our Facebook, what's our best?
It's really up to you guys. I'm not sure we'll take it, both eyes on that.
We can put it in the paper and on Facebook and just have the dates the same.
Yeah.
I feel this.
Yeah, the leagues, that's where,
It runs in the paper. Once.
more than once.
Twice.
Two.
You put a reserve on it.
We only have before.
If you only get 3 bids and $200 is the highest bid. I
Right.
hate to let it go for $200.
Right.
Yeah.
The second meeting in July, is that when you want to look at the bids?
I think we need that done.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're back around to the sanitary sewer for the region. Zach, you had the opportunity to do this.
I actually redrafted a couple sections.
Okay. Any questions, concerns with this? Then would there be a motion?
I see a copy of it, please.
Oh, sorry.
Is it still happening, or you think?
Yeah, it's in the.
I will ask, because time like we have on future project moving, so you mentioned. They got me.
Well, what it is we're renting a fly guy, you know. But they can't do it without the capacity, whether in the way our stuff is set up, we always make sure we've had an agreement in place before we sign the capacity. I don't have an actual date, but I think they're like I said, I had an issue come up Friday that got me to thinking, so I got with Zach, when we needed to have that. We haven't used, well, hasn't been a sanitary sewer subdivision go in, so some of the paperwork needed updated, tweaked, for sure.
Thank you. Wasn't that one of the changes?
That is already at the time that, sewer system was gonna be back with things like the school was big, and so there's nothing wrong with it, it's just a little bit unorthodox. And so I wanted to make sure that because of the steps that they are taking, that we're gonna make sure that we're gonna get everything that's covered. And also deal with some bond issues and things like that, so, I just changed some sections to reflect that. Yet it's gonna allow the project to move forward because they need to have this someone in order to go forward and proceed with it.
Yeah, questions, concerns?
That's something that again, so I'll make a motion.
There's sanitary sewer agreement with, corporation.
Make a motion to approve the sanitary sewer agreement with the Princeton Central School System.
Tim makes the motion, is there a second? Second, all those in favor of the sanitary sewer agreement, by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign, so that passed. Scott, is there anything else?
That's all I've got.
Okay. We appreciate it. You're up. We'll move on to Sean, the street work report.
And 56 locates, 2 choke arrows, and 1 dog food leg. And we picked up lanes and yard waste, putting grates, and trash cans downtown. Weed eated. Salt building is ready for the doors, they got the concrete done and all that too, and laid everything out before we get in there easier, so now it's ready for the doors and like contact and Harvey, so he got me on the list for that. We got about half of the potholes filled. Worked 2 days and sprayed all the weeds around town. And we're still fixing some alleys, put them in.
James lived at Lutheran Central, Lutheran Central School Board, came, like 3 or 4 meetings ago. And I had questions with, some drainage from the playground, the new playground they're building. They're trying to take it, there was nothing in the plans, they're trying to have a new outlet higher on Elm Street, but it still trickle down to the current, catch basin. We discussed that with him. Is there anything else that we would need to do formally to have that agreement go through? Any other like cut curb or anything else that we would need to?
He may have to end up cutting the curb. If it's where it is, they've got it in now, it's behind the curb now.
Okay.
I figured they was gonna cut the curb just to let the water flow out into the curb. I figured that's what they would do.
Okay. They just reach back out and want to make sure they.
Which for that's just like a $10
Street cut, yes.
street code permit or something.
Okay, is that one they can?
Get here.
Okay.
Which I figured they thought to the back. Works.
Yeah. Okay, that's all good. Double check all my things. Any other questions for Sean? Thanks, Sean. Ray will hand over to you with your school board report.
Yeah, sure. All right, the June meeting, the school board approved a couple of action items. Those items that were approved were the 2026-27 administration salaries and benefits status quo. We approved the new cell phone policy. We approved the new transfer sick day policy. We approved the 2026-27 student and athletic handbooks for all three of the schools. We also had to renew the administrative contract status quo, and renew the assistant superintendent addendum to contract status quo. Those are board actions. Achievements from the students this month. There's no school in session, so there's no students of the month, but congratulations to our boys high school golf team. They won the sectional. That's the first time in school history, so it's pretty impressive. And I think everybody pretty much knows this, but all three schools, the high school, middle school, and elementary school archery teams will be competing here shortly at the World's Competition in Daytona Beach, Florida. That's another big accomplishment. And then school news, the Little Braves Academy, our new preschool we're starting this year in the fall, now has 35 new students enrolled. And at that point, it was decided that we will separate that into two different classes. And we now have 6 new students enrolled in our new Brownstown Central High School virtual school. So, numbers are coming up. That's it.
Any questions? Thank you. All right, we'll now move over to the park board report.
Okay, that was the reason I was late, sorry, we moved our park board meetings today, so. we'll put that. We did that because of the ribbon cutting on the 23rd, so we want to make sure that we were prepared, ready to go. So that starts at 12:30, the Exchange Club is doing a cookout, with the ribbon cutting at 1. We have 2 little daycares coming, plus we've announced it to the town Facebook page, shared it, so Sonia, you may do that, you might do that again, like Friday. Also, that area up by the playground is gonna be blocked off because the bike rodeo people are also doing their bike rodeo starting at 5. They're not giving me any advertisement. Have you seen anything out there? So they need to really get advertising working on that. That'll be along with the free swim. They'll be giving out helmets for all ages for bicycles. Going through some bike obstacle courses. They're gonna do talk about bike safety. They've got some people coming, so that needs to be able to advertise somehow, but all the same day. We did have a little vandalism on the playground area, so we need to somehow figure out how to get a camera or something. That's on the agenda for us to figure out. It's all cleaned up. Sean had to do that today. Somebody took a Sharpie to it. So that's done. All the part equipment is in. It's in storage to be put in after school. Equipment is installed, so I'm thinking a month at the most. So we'll get Jeremy up there to work on the leveling, and then we'll be able to install all that. The bike rodeo people also have a new bike fixing station. They would like to install one at the park, one here. It is in within a week or 2. We need to figure out where we want to install it in town, and where we want to install it at the park. I don't know how big it is. I don't know any much about it. I just know the fixing station. So that's something to be thinking about. Pool's going great. For attendance, we need to figure out, need to get Sonia to see if they're actually making money with concessions. Yeah, they're generating a lot of money, but are they making money? So we need to figure out if the price is right on that. The park board also wanted to know, the pool managers are paid salary and they are a town employee. How does their vacation work? So do they get a vacation? If they pay their vacation, if they take a vacation, are they not paid the vacation? Has that already been discussed?
Police chief and assistant chief are salary, they get vacation, so that's not the one that are salary, so I would think they could get vacation of some sort.
Okay. It's just a seasonal tradition.
That's true, though, yeah.
Only 2 months. Summers when people. We're just trying to figure out, after we went on vacation last week, and we kind of did, we were all kind of caught, so we're like, well,
do we, I mean, is she paid for that, I guess? Is she not paid? How does that work? Does that come out of our budget? Because Jamie helped fill in, so do we pay Jamie for that time? Like, how is that gonna work? Do you know what I mean? And how do we, going forward, I know we haven't told you this, how do we go forward to tell her how to request vacation? Instead of just, you know what I mean? Just organization on it.
If I think that's kind of procedure guidelines.
Yeah, we need to listen to that.
Whenever Jamie did it prior, she was usually camping, she was local, she was cooking, she.
Correct, more long weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily a
Vacation.
vacation, so that's what we had.
I would think you guys could decide on that. Okay.
Does the town employs accrue vacation with so much time, like on a monthly, month basis, like so many days per month, or?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't know, we just need to figure that out. But then Sonia, thank you for working on that.
No problem.
So that's one thing. The other thing is, I don't know what it's called. You can probably tell me. The drain, what is the drain over there called for this gap?
The big crate.
The big grate is
Collapsing.
collapsing.
It's not safe.
It's not safe at all. I'm afraid little kids gonna fall in it. We're gonna have issues. We've taped it.
Baseball.
Yes.
Danger.
But Kevin says he's gotten Jade and, who else is there, you know? And the school's gonna fix it, but no one's shown back up. So we either need to know if the school's gonna fix it, or we need to cover it over. But then if we cover it over, it's gonna cause drainage issues for you. When your baseball field, because it comes, you know, when it comes down. But we can't, we're gonna have to. Cut it, because we can't. We need to figure out who's gonna fix it or what we're gonna do. We can't, there's too many kids over there. It's too close, we're gonna have a kid fall in it.
It is caving in now. I mean, it's pretty bad.
And we've put new tape around it,
It's roped off.
but I know every time I'm over there, kids are over there, you know, wondering what it is. So,
The fact is back to Scott's report, the 11.5 inches we received in May, kind of took its toll on it.
Yeah.
Just to address quickly the issue of the personnel that are salaried, whether or not that there's a mandatory obligation to provide then with vacation. That's typically, there's no ordinance that's one way, that's determined by the employee handbook. So when you hire folks, I don't know what's in the employee handbook necessarily. If there's one for salary, for some non-salary, and we can do an ordinance specifically for seasonal, for non-seasonal, and you guys would make that decision. There's no statutory requirement to pay seasonal employees for the vacation. It's purely up to you guys' discretion. But so with that, looking at the handbook, which I don't know, you would never, you'll just have to, but that's the guiding principle for that.
And the handbook doesn't, it just talks about salary. It doesn't have like, seasonal salary or part-time salary. You see, she's basically part-time and seasonal. It's only for 2 months, but yet she gets 5 paychecks evenly.
Right.
So,
And yes, is there a section that anybody knows about that deals with PTO and salaried employees?
yes, but she's not a full-time salary. That's full-time salary.
Right, but if that distinction hasn't been made, that we should make that distinction that if you guys don't want to pay seasonal employees for vacation time, then that's something that needs to be specifically stated.
I agree.
Which you guys have the full statutory authority to do that. And that's, when you look at other folks' handbooks and policies and ordinances, that tends to be more common. That doesn't mean you guys have to do that, but we have the authority to do that, should you guys decide if that's the direction you want to take.
I think we need some direction myself, so it's black and white. Instead of not white in the
But whenever you guys decide, we can't retro with that.
No, but going forward,
Going forward.
trying to fix some, you know. Okay, I need to update that, okay.
And just let me know if you guys want to do the handbook or if that's something you want to outsource to. It's whatever. I just need to know, so we'll put it on to do this
And will you find out if the school's gonna cover or what we need to do about that?
Yeah, I'd like to see which one you're talking about. I'm not exactly sure which one you're talking about, so. You want after this, if you go through this one, I'm there. But yeah, I'll follow up with the school on that.
Okay.
You said Jay was who you spoke with?
No, Kevin said Jay and who,
I don't know who he's supposed to, he told me he was gonna get a hold of Cindy, but,
Jay Nudie, that's who it was.
okay.
They came and looked at it, but he has not heard from them since. So he
Okay.
doesn't know what to do.
How long ago was that?
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
No, probably nothing out.
Mhm.
Okay.
We just need, we don't wanna fill it in and then you guys are gonna fix it. You know what I mean, or we.
I mean, I've looked at it, but from my perspective, if it's as bad as it is, I will take a chance of having any liability, I'd cover it. No matter what it does. Until we can get it fixed. That's just a say that.
What you ever thought, like give the bill it? I've always heard it's the school. I don't know, that's the determination.
Kevin says it's the school, but I don't know, I don't know where,
You know,
I don't
where
know where
the
the line
lines are at. The county seems to think it's the school.
Well, if it's a school,
Why don't you look at it?
then you guys probably can't tell it.
we
We'll
can,
go look at it.
yeah, we can, and then.
We need to do something with that phone. Any update on the curriculum? I saw that title work.
Yeah, it's right through that.
Are we good or?
Yep.
We have to fill out this form for the grant we have received, which I can do that. Estimated timeline, disbursement of funds, how often over the next year. I'm still trying to figure out. I've only got one engineer, only one architect company that said they will do it. They will follow everything that we need, all electrical, all plumbing. They will handle everything. So it's hard for me to find other places all the time that will do that again. Same way, you know, you gotta have 3 bids. I can't find 3 people that want to do that. So, and then, so I figured the first disbursement will be the architect filing everything and, Joe Peters running everything over there. And then the second one will be probably beginning, but we need to figure out who can accept that bid or where we're at on that to figure out that thing. Additional funding for the building. That's all I have for. Just if anybody can come the 23rd, that would be nice.
Mindy and I will be there.
We move on to old business now. First up would be, Adult Anderson, Benny and zoning contract.
I emailed it for you guys all to look at.
What's Ruth, or did he say anything about,
I forwarded him your request, and then I forwarded you his answer.
I really didn't think I got an answer. I mean, I didn't think it was an answer, did you?
I don't know, he kind of thought it wasn't a good idea, but I don't understand even what that.
Yeah, it should have to go through that. When did you send?
At the last meeting, I told you guys about it, to look at it so that we could vote. So it's been early
On the second.
June. Reach out to him or call him, so you can discuss it back and forth. Inside. Explain to him your needs. Maybe he doesn't understand what we're wanting.
So we need to make a motion to approve him to position, so we do.
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve Dalton for planning and zoning contract.
Any make the motion, is there a second? Give a second, all those in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. That's Next up, we've got HWC engineering contract.
Same thing, I emailed it to you guys to look at. To see if it's something we want to do or not. She says that by doing this, it'll make us eligible for next year's CCMG funding.
It gets all of our other requirements up to date as well.
Yes.
All the ADA and things.
Pay up and all that, yes. She came in here one day, before she put the contract together and went through our ADA stuff that we already had, and we had a ton of good photographs. So she does not have to go around and read photographs, all that.
Did she give you an idea on the cost of this project, the scope of this project? Because I know they got hourly rates on everything, but
Yeah, there was a,
If you scroll up to a thing,
yeah, she's got a price in there.
I'll see that. We did something exactly like this, or very similar the last time we got all this stuff, didn't we? The same agreement.
It's been,
It was with Bernie though, right?
5 years ago, something.
yeah.
Did that expire? I just wanted to ask, because I thought you did that. Yeah. I'm asking as the editor, not like, yeah, but you already had one with Bernie Harrisburg. That's when you got that project down there done.
Yes, but I think it needs to be refreshed.
So that expired, whatever.
Yeah. I think it's when you can update each year, as long as you've got that plan. you can-
Well, you had that plan, I understand, that plan, yeah.
Yeah. But we got refreshed that since
So it's not been, since he did come in there in that time. Well, you probably took pictures then, didn't you? I mean, you should put that.
Yeah, well, it should still be the same.
Yeah. I mean, you probably knew even then what the bad roads were.
Yeah.
So does that make where our pictures come from that you talked about? That we've already got?
Yeah, I believe so. Like crosswalks and all that stuff.
Because if I remember, this is cheaper than what it was then. Maybe that's why. I was thinking it was like,
Make it work.
I thought it was like double this last time, like 50,000 or something last time.
Yeah, she said it would be less, I don't know what we paid, she didn't know what we paid last time, but she said it would be reduced since we have so many good pictures that she didn't have to go all around town,
Okay.
photographing everything.
And this helps us get all that matching stuff to redo roads and everything in the future, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that being said, I'd like a motion to approve the HWC engineering, contract as proposed.
And make for the motion, would it be a second? All those in favor of HWC engineering contract, signify by saying aye. Vote same sign. Thanks for that. Next up, we have the second reading of additional appropriation, for 2026-4.
So we're adding $7,000 to the general fund under the clerk. That is to cover, the extra help category, which I was paying Mindy out of until we stopped paying Kathy. So we've now moved Mindy to the sewer. Kathy's not being paid out of there, so it's to cover that. $7,000 added to the local road and street. That is to cover, the remainder of the 3 trees we had removed. And $8,000 for the, the capital development. That is, we already had the money for the cemetery markers. We had it allotted in 25. We actually didn't pay the invoice for January 1st, so it's just moving that. So that's the second reading, and did you guys? Care to vote?
Seven under general,
Seven
salary.
under local road street and 8 under CCD.
gotcha.
And the appropriation ordinance 2026 section.
Yes.
Would there be,
I motion to approve the additional appropriation 2026.
who's making the motion, who's making it?
Second.
Second, all those in favor, approving the ordinance 2026-4, signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. So that's fine. Okay, do we have anything else under old business?
Yes, I'm not been able to come to last few meetings. Where's things at on Ashland as far as with speed times? Folks are asking me after there what the thoughts are.
I think you maybe recommended, looking at it. temporary, so we've not really discussed the permanent. There's not a decision been made on it either. at
Right,
this time.
they just had asked.
Yeah, so I know the permanent one has a lot of issues,
Right.
I know Joe Kelly, soon to be Chief Kelly, he was sitting down there one day. I asked him what he saw, and he said, when he was sitting there, he didn't see much, but I know it happens. And where he was sitting, I don't know, of course, I saw him, but I come on Poplar Cove and went up Ashland, so I saw him sitting there, so I called him and said, hey, have you seen anybody? He said, everybody's slowing in about 23 or so when they see me sitting down here. So he didn't have a lot going on that day, so you're still seeing it, I assume?
Okay, I spoke to Joe one day, he was sitting there, school was out. So there was not near the traffic as what there was. So that's one thing. Now, I had talked to Sean about the speed limit signs, not being able to see them, if you're not looking for. Well, I put that speed sign up there, and I don't know if that grabs your attention or not.
It does, and I don't even know if we're supposed to have it there or not, but it does, I do see it.
Tom saw it, they love it.
Okay. I still have a driver in my dog.
I sit there, and what's funny is, people come up and there's the original speed limit sign there in front of that.
Mhm.
They drive 50 feet and see my sign, and I see them hitting the brake light. So it's getting their attention. Now, you still have people that fly down through there that, it's helped with the neighborhood people with a lot of them.
Okay.
They're doing better, but you still have some people that they're going to drive fast no matter what. And people have just asked me kind of like what's being talked about, and I thought I'd try to help share that with them.
Yeah, and I know, I had to miss the last meeting, I know I've been out of camp quite a bit, but, the speed bumps, I would say are a no, but I don't think anybody's in favor of speed bumps, other than
I'm not even,
it probably will curb some of that,
yeah,
no pun intended, but,
no, I agree.
but maybe your sign, maybe we could do something with the sign, I don't know if we should put a sign there that flashes.
I was just thinking, we put flashing lights on the speed limit sign and move it back.
Try
a little
that.
bit or something.
I don't know.
Solar powered. We have some by on the crosswalk. Those lights.
But it-
So you think your signs help?
Yeah.
Do, okay, like I said,
There's a couple up towards your way, they've always flown up there and they're running a lot slower.
okay,
Now, the one thing I will say, and I thought about this, and you and I mentioned about the speed bump, and you was worried about some young teenager coming home fast tonight, getting bumped, and having an accident.
or I think a lot of them just race from one bump to the next bump,
Well,
to be honest with you.
Okay, that too, but what I, only thought that I had was, and you would talk about an accident.
Mhm.
You have that chance, but which would you rather have? The chance of them that was in the wrong to begin with compared to someone, I've got a daughter and two granddaughters that walk out there all the time. You know, someone like that getting hurt.
Right.
You know, but I understand what you're saying, you know, the chances of an accident. But, you know, innocent bystander.
Right. And that's a choice you obviously want to make.
Yeah,
I certainly agree with you.
Yeah. But I just,
So maybe we try, can we look at maybe a sign with flashes? Do you have any, I mean,
You don't have them, I have to.
we'll get a price on those and just see if it helps. So I'd like to do the least invasive approach possible, or the most invasive to the specific people that need it, and that'd be tickets that hit your pocketbook. But
yeah,
it's hard to do. They seem to see Joe sitting down there, which I thought he was in a good spot, but.
oh, right there in front of.
Yeah.
But you know, something else that surprised me at this meeting, they talk about no one write tickets. What even if they just sit up there and just flip the lights off?
Mhm.
Don't have to stop them. Just turn the lights on and say, hey, you were in the wrong.
Mhm.
To help get attention that way.
Better when someone there that they can hide, have someone else.
Well, that's what
That's what Natalie says is the best approach,
And
is,
it's a-
is the,
Tom was saying that
If
if
you
somebody.
can find, if you can find one of the residents to let them pull back into the driveway.
They are welcome.
Just so that nobody can see them coming up and down, and then they
yeah. that's-
Something else that we also talked about, I'm not sure if you're at that meeting or not, but we need new handheld radars.
And you talk that also.
So I think we'll probably go to find a little bit of cash to get up one or two of those things. I think we need to, I know we need to do a better job of enforcement as well.
Yeah,
So I think we're gonna look at that approach. But if we can look at signs that flash, like the solar ones, whatever, and get a cost on those, maybe.
they're not cheap.
Well, nothing is right now.
Yeah, nothing.
We'll see what, if we can just kind of get a ballpark where they're at.
but it has helped some.
I like the cone you put on it, actually.
I just, that was to grab your attention more.
Yeah, you can see it more. It's definitely, it's there.
Yeah, no.
I'm not seeing the cone, I see with
The
the.
sign. Yeah, so it's like a safety cone on top of it now.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for old business? Okay. I'm moving on to new business. We've got a sewer adjustment for 604 Bloomington Road. Our average sewer usage is 4,800 gallons, gallons to be adjusted to be 62.25. Amount to be adjusted for the council is $52.93.
Motion to approve sewer adjustment on 604 Livingston Road.
Second.
And make the motion to Chris link to the station. All those in favor of the sewer adjustment, say aye. Those same sign. That passed. Okay, next up, Lisa Luger, intersection of Vine and Ewing. We got people running the stop sign.
Yep. Sure wish we had a lighted stop sign, but more important, I wish we had law enforcement that would give tickets. Because we have, you know, a lot of offenders, repeat, semi-drivers. So, I mean,
I can tell you on South Ewing, just having the same thing.
so I'm gonna stand and get some, and I wrote it, but that's okay, so I can stay on track. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for giving me the time and opportunity to speak at this meeting. I would also like to thank you all and tell you all how grateful we are for providing our little corner of the community with a much higher level of public safety by placing a four-way stop at the intersection of West Vine Street and North Ewing Street. Your commitment, respect, and thoughtfulness for public safety in our little area has been unmatched by others, including law enforcement. We appreciate you all, and we appreciate your help in order to deliver a much higher level of public safety for our children and residents. When I first moved to this area, I was quickly horrified to realize that North Ewing Street was used by many as a drag racing strip. I could hear the roar of the engines accelerate after they left the stop sign at the intersection of North Ewing and West Spring Street, heading eastbound on North Ewing Street, or after coming out the S curve on North Ewing, heading westbound. Either way, I understood this is a huge threat to our public safety, especially for the children, residents, pedestrians, and animals who call this area home. I made numerous calls to Brownstown Police and/or dispatch about this public safety threat. Sadly, I also realized they care very little about that enormous threat to public safety in our little area of this town. Very rarely would I see an officer drive by, and only once did I see an officer park for a very short time on North Ewing to watch for offenders. For this very reason, we thank you all again for caring about the public safety of our children and residents by placing a four-way stop at the intersection of West Vine and North Ewing. It has been a great blessing, and it has also made a tremendous difference in trying to ensure a higher level of public safety for our children and residents. Even with all the positives that the four-way stop has brought to our community, we still need a much larger police presence to enforce the laws that ensure public safety and to stop those who are repeat offenders. It is law enforcement that we all look out to respect and honor for protecting innocent lives and for ensuring the public's safety. Without it, mankind has no hope of security. The current and persistent danger that continues to exist is the repeat offenders who believe they are above the law and/or has no regard or concern for the law. And since there is absolutely no police presence to enforce it, they continue with their dangerous, law-breaking activities, which becomes a major threat to our public safety. It is dangerous enough when cars, passenger trucks, and SUVs run stop signs. But when semis, huge utility trucks, enormous fertilizer trucks, and vehicles that weigh tons run stop signs, that greatly heightens the degree of danger to guaranteed deadly. Semis and heavy trucks running four-way stop signs is incredibly dangerous and is a severe active public safety hazard. Their massive size and weight creates a long braking distance, which requires a significant time to stop. They simply cannot stop on a dime. Rolling stops at intersections is a severe and dangerous hazard. A semi rolling through an intersection risks plowing directly into cars, pedestrians, and cyclists who are expecting the semi driver to obey the law and stop. Semis also have massive blind spots, which only adds to the extreme danger they pose to other drivers, pedestrians, and property. A semi running a stop sign creates an immediate life-threatening danger to children, pedestrians, other drivers, and all residents in the area. And that is why it is considered to be a dereliction of duty if ignored by law enforcement. All vehicles should come to a complete and legal stop to avoid crashes. Semis and heavy trucks also destroy residential streets, causing huge repair costs. On June 9th, I left a voicemail for the chief of police for Brownstown. Never heard back. Also on June 9th, I spoke with a gentleman with Premier, informing him that I had videotape of Premier vehicles, trucks, and semi-drivers running the four-way stop signs at the intersection of West Vine Street and North Ewing Street in Brownstown. He was completely appalled by their behavior and actions and promised me that activity would end immediately. So far, he has kept his word. Those drivers have been making a complete stop. He also asked me to inform him if that violation occurs again. He actually gave me his cell phone number. On June 10th, I spoke with the sheriff of Jackson County.
He told me that he does not allow California stops in this county. We had been talking about the rolling stops that occur at this intersection. He also told me that he would put out a memorandum for extra drive-bys by the Brownstown Police and Jackson County officers. So far, I have seen a police vehicle drive by on June 11th at approximately 4:15 p.m. and I have seen 2 police vehicles drive by on June 14th at approximately 11:50 a.m. and 7:20 p.m. On June 10th, I also spoke with a gentleman from COBA, informing him that I have COBA's heavy fertilizer trucks, which are very similar to dump trucks, on videotape running the 4-way stop signs at the intersection of West Vine Street and North Ewing Street in Brownstown. His reaction was very much like the Premier gentleman, angry, appalled, and horrified. He said that he would speak with every driver immediately and that it would stop. He also wanted me to inform him if that happened again. The COVID drivers that have passed by have made complete stops. I was told that most Premier and COVID drivers and semi-drivers hold commercial driver's license, a CDL. Also on June 10th, one of the semi-drivers that works for the pig farmer not only ran the 4-way stop sign, but had a massive spill of pig manure right in front of my house. I'm still not convinced that wasn't an unintentional act. These semi-drivers are the absolute worst when it comes to running the 4-way stop signs. I have them on video laughing, waving, and blowing their horn when they realize they are being tased. These are the most arrogant, disrespectful, unprofessional, and repeat offender semi-drivers that I have ever had to witness. These drivers fail over and over to obey laws that ensure public safety. They constantly put our children, residents, pedestrians, and other drivers in life-threatening danger and a higher potential for damaging our properties. These drivers do not obey the laws that keep others safe. Per the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, the FMCSA, semi-drivers should pull over and bring the truck to a safe stop immediately when a spill occurs. Turn on emergency flashers to alert approaching traffic and others to the hazard. Inspect the spill, dial 911 immediately, especially if the spill involves hazardous materials or poses an immediate threat. Leaving the scene of a spill or driving with leaking cargo is illegal and poses severe safety and environmental hazards. The semi-driver who had the spill not only ran the 4-way stop sign, he kept driving westbound on North Ewing Street, spreading the spill destruction through town. I have the entire thing on video. Not only did he not call for help, he left the hazardous spill scene. We called for help. Pig manure contains bacteria that is dangerous and potentially deadly to humans. It acts as a reservoir for various zoonotic pathogens, germs that spread from animals to humans, which cause severe infections. Superbugs, such as carbapenem resistance Enterobacteremia, CRE, often called nightmare bacteria, is resistant to most antibiotics and can have a death rate of up to 50% in bloodstream infections. Methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, MRSA, is widespread in pig production and can cause serious skin and muscle infections. It is strongly associated with pig manure. Salmonella and E. coli cause severe diarrhea, kidney failure, and death, especially in children. Clostridium perfringens, Campylobacteria, and Listeria are also commonly associated with pig manure. Pig manure that leaks contaminates the ground and groundwater with bacteria that cause serious illness and increases the risk of methicillin-resistant Staph aureus, MRSA infections. Pig manure often contains high concentrates of antibiotic resistance bacteria and resistance genes, making infections harder, if not impossible, to treat. Pig manure also carries parasites like Ascaris suum, a roundworm that can infect people. Why in the world would a town allow such danger to travel on this congested, narrow residential street? North Ewing Street has homes close to the road on both sides. Cars also line both sides of the road. Children play in their yards and on the street. They walk, run, and ride their bikes up and down the road. There are also many pedestrians that use North Ewing Street as a source of exercise. They jog, walk, and bicycle on this road. Even the Brownstown Central High School track team uses North Ewing Street to run. North Ewing Street should be a safe residential street for residents, children, and pedestrians. Semis and heavy trucks should never be allowed to travel this residential street, especially semi drivers who are not professionally trained. These drivers are also untrained with safety and safety procedures, hence the massive pig manure spill. And they are untrained with public safety. With pig manure being as dangerous and potentially deadly to humans, I am unsure and somewhat nervous about the cleanup. Was it tested to see if it contained the deadly bacteria? And if it is still a threat to humans, especially to the children that play at that very intersection? Also, was the cleanup done correctly and timely? I am sending a letter to the commissioner by him in order to learn more about the rules, regulations, and cleanup of very hazardous spills. The I-10 gentleman who came to the scene did not stay on the scene. He was there, he left, he came back once the farmer and his crew arrived to start a cleanup procedure. And then he left again without returning. That seems very unprofessional to me. The IDEM representative left the scene before the cleanup was even completed. I will see what the commissioner states is the correct protocol when dealing with such hazardous material. Plus, I most definitely do not trust the farmer nor his help, who are most likely the semi-drivers, who are the repeat offenders running the stop signs. These drivers have no respect or regard for obeying laws. I do not trust them with doing and completing a proper cleanup. As a matter of fact, they left behind a lot of contaminated cat litter that has now washed into yards, and some residential contaminated cat litter still shows on the road that could possibly travel and spread on vehicle tires. How will this all affect the children and residents on North Ewing Street? Has any child, resident, or pedestrian been infected with the deadly bacteria? Imagine how you would feel if all this unsafe and criminal behavior and activity was happening right outside your front door in clear vision. And to make matters even worse, there is no law enforcement present at all. The offenders know that all too well, so they keep offending because there's absolutely no consequences to pay for their repeat offenses. Law enforcement, once in a blue moon drive-bys, do not solve anything. What are the chances of that working? They need to be present and watching the area more often, stopping and giving fines to the repeat offenders who disrespect and who disregard our rights to public safety. Law enforcement is our only hope. We need them to talk the talk, but more importantly, we need them to walk the walk. in order to stop the repeat offenders and bring back a higher level of public safety. Thank you all again for this time.
Thank you for sharing.
So I have a video of this spill. I also have some photos, which don't really show a whole lot, but
Would it be possible for me to get a copy of that, what you just read?
that I just read.
Mhm.
Sure.
I'd like to share that with the police department. When I looked at the agenda, literally this says Lisa Luger intersection of Vine and Julie running stop sign. I didn't expect to get everything that I just got there. But it seems like you're happy with the stop sign, but there's issues with,
So
I'm gonna summarize what I heard. The sheriff not responding adequately. Brownstown Police Department not responding adequately. Farmers, truck drivers having no respect. The gentleman from Ida didn't stick around, to see if the cleanup was done properly.
I don't know that it was, so.
What time of day is all this stuff occurring?
This happened on Wednesday, June the tenth.
No, I'm talking about everything, all the running stop signs and
Oh, daily.
what time of day?
So a lot of it in the early morning hours, you'll hear them, I hear them, it's a lot of like trucks, probably heading out to, I don't know, Rose Acres or wherever they go to work, maybe Pig Farmer.
Okay.
Who lives right down the street.
You said on June 9th you left a voicemail for the police chief here in Brownstown.
Yeah.
What number did you call to leave that message?
I called your public and it let me pick like for his office, do this and do that, and I left it.
Okay, you heard that we're getting a new police chief. Tom's gonna retire.
I did.
And you also heard that we have some issues on Ashland Street. We also have speeding issues in other areas of the town. We are limited. So as you talk to Premier, you talk to Code.
And the lady the lady officer that was here,
Officer Bowen.
absolutely love her.
Mhm.
She has helped me. She's came out.
Okay.
And she told me as well back last summer that, I know you guys had trouble. I've been told she told me, but also some other officers have told me, you guys have trouble. People, because you can't pay them enough, some of them, I guess, don't get paid at all, like reserves or what, I'm not sure. It's not my business. But they come here and kind of get time and then they're gone.
Well, their pay won't affect how they should
No, I
perform their
mean,
job.
that's none of my business. I understand that you're low on officers.
Even when we're fully staffed, there's usually only one person on duty that can do that. So you understand we have different
So
areas.
that's why I was asking the Jackson County Sheriff dude, like, or officer, I guess, sorry.
And they also have the whole county that they have to look over. So I'm not making excuses. I just want you to understand that
Well,
there will
my-
not be an officer parked there
and
24/7.
You know what? How are you gonna tell a family whose child is brutally killed by one of these people? How are you gonna tell them? Not making excuses, but if that was your child,
Yeah, I don't.
what if that was your house?
Do you understand we cannot park an officer? I'm not, I want to kick up the patrol and I want to do more enforcement. Yes, I agree with you. But please understand, we talked about the Premier trucks and the Cobra trucks. They know all the people that drive through there. We can't call everybody that drives down your street. So understand, we will put people there and we will pick up the enforcement.
I'm not asking somebody to be there all the time, but I mean, these offenders know, I got a drug. The gentleman who owns some trailers forever and ever, finally they quit playing, so he paid, so he evicted them. These drug dealers were busier than JC. They would deal right in front of me. They would come, I would see them hand out money, dope money, wet meth, whatever it was. I saw it all the time, constantly.
We probably heard the
And
same before.
I talked to officers about that, and they keep telling me, yeah, we know it. I mean, I don't know, I don't know what to, this is a great little town, the school, I love the county pride.
Well, I'm gonna go back and address the original item on the agenda, which I think will take care of your other items as well. I will talk to Joe Kelly, who's gonna be our chief effective July 6th or July 1st. Okay. We will start writing more tickets, for speeding, not just in running stop signs, not just in your area, but in a town in general. But there's gonna be people that run stop sign stuff, and we appreciate the feedback.
You know what?
Feel free to give me, if I would like a copy of those.
And I understand that because here on earth, nothing is perfect. Only enough is not perfect, okay? So that's what we hope for. Someday we'll have perfect. It doesn't here. I am just trying, it is summer. All of these kids, the pool's just down the street, okay? I see kids all the time walking with fishing poles, riding bikes, ride with scooters, which they're probably not supposed to do, because it's a motorized thing, they're not young, not old enough. You know, they're having fun, they're kids. We were all kids one time too. We had fun, we enjoyed fun. It's the children. And around me, there are 5 homes that have children that is an infant to a little over a year old. They do get out, you know?
Yeah, please understand this stop sign was not there a year ago, so we are taking steps to
And
do that, so.
it has, and that's why I want to thank you, and I do, because you have made a big difference. Most people actually, at least they really slowed down. They may do the California roll as our sheriff's commented.
Right.
But at least, but there are some, and it's especially the pig farmer semis. And since he spilled, I realized he must be going elsewhere because they're not coming westbound now, but they're coming eastbound, and they don't realize that stop sign. My videos catch all that. I videotape them over and over. They don't even stop. They don't even do a rolling stop. They just go. I have COBA trucks, those big fertilizer trucks. Long of that like it's nobody's business. It has done an enormous amount. We've even talked about, wow, man, I wish they would flash because that area is dark. It's a very narrow street. I really don't understand why these big trucks are allowed to even go down it. The homes are right on the road. Everybody parks there, cars on both sides. Kids running. I mean, they ride bikes, they run, they come out. There's a lot of little bitty kids, toddlers.
And for everything you mentioned, that's why we do have a stop sign there now. So we will look at increasing our enforcement, so.
And I appreciate it,
Thank you.
and that's why I kept, you know, that has done more for our public safety than anything. That has occurred since I've been here. Which only been since October of 2020, but long enough, I get it. So,
Thank you.
appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time, I really do. So you want me to bring you back, a copy or?
Thank you.
So this has got lots of notes on it, so you want that.
Okay. Moving on, we have Dwayne Silvers.
Sir,
You're up, buddy.
You're up.
yes, sir. I live at 916 South Main here in Brownstown. And, I moved there in July and I haven't had Rumpke bins. I called and actually had Rumpke because my son we dispose of trash where he works at his Rumpke bin. And they keep billing me for something that I haven't used and that I don't need. So I guess basically I'm here today to see if I can, because they told me when I pay my sewer bill, come here and we can get it resolved.
Okay, so you have totes?
No, no, sir. I actually called, they actually come and got them 8 months ago. I haven't had totes in 8 months.
Okay, and you have a bin.
No, I don't have nothing from Rocky.
You have nothing from us.
Nothing at all, no, sir.
How do you discard the trash?
My sons come and help me. I'm disabled. I'm okay. And they'll come and help me. They dispose of it. They put it with their trash, get rid of it for me. It helps me. Because at the end of the year, that money that I don't have to pay Rocky, I pay my auto insurance with it. I'm on a tight budget. So basically, I want to see if I can get, they've been billing me ever since, even though I haven't been using it. And I want to see if, what I can do. Is it something that the town has made mandatory?
Yes, we could have an ordinance where any resident in the town would have trash pickup. That would be to ensure the beautification of the town, but also for public safety, that we don't just have trash piles or anything else.
Absolutely not. If you drive by my home, I got one of the nicest homes on Main Street. So listen, the trash is no issue for me to get rid of. And like I said, it helps me out in a way where, because I'm on a very strict budget.
And so you called Rumpke?
Yes, sir. About 8 months ago, they come down. After I explained to the lady that worked in here, you know, I think she had a little bit of a hand in on it too. Cause they come and got them like a week after that. And I haven't, cause I just moved there in July last year. So I've never used Rumpke at all.
So just to be clear,
Yes, sir.
that there's the utilities, whether it's sewer or trash, these are mandatory. They're mandatory for a reason. That is, the vast majority of people in the community don't want to go to the dump. Right? And so because of the size of the town now, it's still small. However, there's enough people, 3,000 plus, where we don't want to create exceptions for individuals to not have sewer or to not have trash. Because what often happens, not in your particular case, sir, is that people don't go to the dump on a weekly basis, and they don't go on a monthly basis. They accumulate tons of refuse, which becomes
Yes, sir.
a public health cost. Again, that's not applicable to you.
Yeah.
So that's one reason. The second reason is economies of scale. So if we start creating exceptions for people, every other person who's within the systems, trash bill is going to be increased. So I understand that you're decided you don't generate enough trash, and because of your unfortunate situation with respect to your disability, it maybe not be particularly practical. So it can seem cruel, it can seem like from your perspective, it doesn't make sense. But what happens if we start creating exceptions is it becomes an enforcement nightmare for our hardworking and exceptionally small group of individuals. Because then, if you can get a disability exception, how often is that going to be used and or abused? So, you know, the town can create exceptions if they want to, but I drafted the policy. The reason why it's mandatory is for those reasons. The costs will go astronomical because half the town will decide to start burning it or accumulating it, or a quarter of the town. So it is mandatory, just like it's mandatory if you're in the town, unless you gotta hook up to the sewer. That's the way it goes. Why? Because the cost is too high if we allow people to opt out. Because your home is within it, we have statutory authority that's well established. It gives us the ability to regulate trash and sewer and make those mandatory. And that's the reason why you're getting billed. So if you want to get those totes back and start using your trash, save your family some time from, you know, coming back and forth to your house, that's a decision that's up to you. As it stands now, we have the legal authority to do it, and unless I hear otherwise, it's going to continue that way.
Okay, you mentioned get the totes back.
Yeah, you're paying for it, you might as well get your totes back.
Okay, so basically I'm gonna have to pretty much use Rumpke.
Yes.
No. But Rumpke, I mean, had we seen a decrease in our bill since they picked up? None of you have heard them come to pick up.
Yes,
They changed them out, but
that was our previous clerk let people opt out. And that, or, yes, and that was not authorized, so we are now, there was like 23 people who had opted out, and we contacted them and added sewer tube back to their bill. And, I believe he's talked to Mindy a couple times and she offered to have the totes brought back, but he's not using them, so he didn't want them. So they've not been brought back, but we can.
No, I got it wrong.
Even though he's still getting charged for it, he didn't want them brought back.
But did we see a reduction in our fee for
It's based on the number of houses.
So we're paying for-
Houses with service. Like, we were paying for it, even though they weren't using it.
The town's paying, just because he doesn't have totes, we're still paying for his service. And he's being billed for that service, so
He's being-
technically, he's paid for that service.
Yeah,
but
right,
it's-
yeah.
So I would feel different if all of a sudden he refused these and we saw him go over down, then we would have to charge him people for service.
Right. So they bill us for every house.
Yeah.
And the policy says.
So right now,
And
it's
it's-
pushed back here, and that goes on the 23.
Right.
Okay.
So I
Now,
thought that
empty,
answered your
it
question.
does fluctuate for, if someone moves out and it's empty for a while, things like that, yeah,
Okay.
but,
If our home's occupied, it's to be
Yes.
built.
yes.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for
voicing
asking,
your opinion.
yes.
Would you like the totes back?
Let me get, well, if I'm paying for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, so.
Do we have anything else on the new business?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you for the motion, thank you for the second, all those in favor of adjourning, signify by saying aye.
Maybe right now.
Opposed, I say, and. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Is that, or, well, the 10 said we can't sell them for less than what they're like.